Hey guys, so today I just want to show you some hip mobility exercises. I'm training for a Wicklow 200, which involves quite a lot of climbing on a bike, and I've been really feeling it in the hips as I've been training bigger hills and going longer on the bike. So I don't have a specific pain, but I am going to mobilize the hips to try and just release them out a little bit. So obviously we've got our standard kind of hip flexor stretch that most people will know. So we're kneeling on one side and we're coming in and out. So the thing to bear in mind, if you happen to have hip pain, pain doesn't mean damage. Okay, so pain can just mean sensitivity, that the soft tissues are just sensitive, that they're not used to doing the level of exercise that you're doing or whatever way you're working. So it's good to try and poke into pain a little bit. So it doesn't mean it's making it worse. It might even help to desensitize the tissues. So I'm showing you this hip flexor stretch from the front. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come inwards. So I'm getting a little bit of adduction through the hip. I'm also working the outside of the hip. So really you can work any little movement, any little tweak you want to open up the hips. If there's a certain position you don't like, that you can't get into, be it rotation, side bending, just do a little bit more of it, load it a different way. You can just sit like so and just come in and out, dropping in and out of the hips. You can drop one knee in and work it in and out like that. So that's a little bit uncomfortable for me. I generally have a tight left hip, so I do feel the difference between the two sides. You can kind of get down, do a little internal, external rotation. A little bit of Pilates going on here. You come in, reach around. So we're just opening up the hips as much as we can to play around with what we want to. Crawling around on the floor is a great way of doing it. And there's obviously things you're going to be able to do that you find easier than others. You know, I generally try and work the stuff you find a little bit harder. Cross one leg over the other, pull it in. Nice little glute stretch there. Put it back down, push it away. Switch legs. Pull this one in. And just try and move through lots of different positions. That's the key to it all. Just let it rock from side to side, get a little bit of low back. Good work. You can stand up a little bit taller and come through like so. Take the knee off, a little bit more of a quaddy type stretch, and then change sides. Or this one, when we put one hand down inside that leg, rotate up. So we're just getting really almost a full body stretch through here. Upper body through this hip. Come forward even further. Really open up through the hamstring, and we're working this hip flexor here. Quick change, same thing. Up and down. And you can do 4 or 5 little movements in each position that you're in. Get in nice and deep, get this foot far away. Stretch it out even more. Nice little back extension. Into a little kind of child pose position is what we call this. Bring those knees closer together. And then if I show you this one from the front, get your feet really wide, turn your feet out so they're flat on the floor, and just rock in and out of this. It's very nasty. Oh, but you can really feel it opening up those hips. And then you sit back, bring the feet back in underneath as you do it. Again, some nice little hip thruster movements. Throw the hands back. Get a little bit more back extension. Really open up the front of those hips. So on the bike, I'm bent forward quite a lot, flex forward. So I want to open it up the other way. And go back into doing a single leg version of that. So I'm kind of freestyling a lot of this, you know, whatever I feel like I want to do. What's the opposite to the sport I'm doing? If it's a sport, you know, what's the opposite to the position that hurts? Work around it, work into it, poke into a little bit of pain, Okay, so that's just a couple of minutes of some hip stuff going on. Obviously you can do a bit more specific static stretching around quads and hamstrings, but think about movement, get that flow. Okay, hope that helps.